There's a hidden secret in soil management that gardeners and survivalists rarely talk about. A specific layer of slowly decomposing material that, when added correctly, can awaken soil microbes like a bell ringing in a quiet town. I discovered this method recently while experimenting with traditional composting techniques, and honestly, the outcome was astonishing. The soil went from tired and compacted to lively, teeming with microbial activity and capable of sustaining plants in ways I hadn't seen in years. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore what this slow rot layer is, why it works, and how you can apply it to your own garden or survival plot to boost soil fertility faster than conventional methods. The first step to appreciating the slow rot layer is understanding the role of microbes in soil health. Microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and other tiny decomposers are responsible for breaking down organic material, releasing nutrients, and improving soil structure. Without them, even the richest compost heap can stagnate. Historically, farmers recognized the power of microbial activity long before modern science explained it. They used techniques like layering straw, leaves, and partially rotted manure to create pockets of slow decomposition, unknowingly fostering microbial colonies that would transform their fields. The slow rot layer builds on this historical insight, providing microbes with a long-lasting food source that keeps them active over time. Unlike typical composting, which focuses on rapid decomposition through heat and agitation, the slow rot layer is designed for gradual breakdown. This creates a steady release of nutrients and a constant supply of food for microbes, effectively waking them up whenever the soil is dry or dormant. In my trial, placing a slow rot layer beneath a garden bed encouraged microbial activity even during cooler months, which is when most composting methods slow to a crawl. For survivalists or gardeners in challenging climates, this approach ensures that the soil remains biologically active year-round, reducing the need for constant amendments or artificial fertilizers. The success of the slow rot layer depends on choosing the right organic materials. High-carbon items such as straw, dry leaves, wood chips, and shredded cardboard are ideal because they decompose slowly, feeding microbes over weeks or months. Small amounts of nitrogen-rich scraps, like vegetable peelings or coffee grounds, can be incorporated to give the microbial colonies an initial boost. When I applied this method, I layered straw, partially decomposed leaves, and shredded cardboard beneath my planting beds. Even without turning the material frequently, I noticed an increase in worm activity and the characteristic earthy smell of humus forming within weeks. Beginners can start with kitchen and yard scraps, while advanced gardeners might experiment with aged manure or leaf mould for even richer microbial diversity. Start by preparing the area where you intend to create the layer. Dig a shallow trench or remove the top few inches of soil. Then lay your high-carbon materials evenly, mixing in small amounts of nitrogen-rich scraps to, sort of prime the microbes. After that, cover the layer with a thin layer of soil to retain moisture and prevent drying out. This setup actually mimics natural forest floors, where fallen leaves and organic debris decompose slowly, feeding a complex ecosystem of decomposers. For practical application, gardeners can place slow rot layers under vegetable beds, orchards, or even raised planters, gradually enriching the soil without having to constantly monitor or turn the compost. One of the most valuable aspects of this method is how little maintenance it requires compared to traditional composting. The layer should remain slightly moist, but not saturated. Occasionally you can add new scraps or sprinkle a little water during dry periods. I also found that lightly aerating the topsoil after a few weeks helps the microbes penetrate deeper and accelerates humus formation. Worms, fungi and other decomposers naturally colonize the layer, creating channels that improve soil aeration and water retention. Even small additions like shredded leaves in autumn or kitchen scraps in spring can keep the layer active for months or even years. Once established, the slow rot layer can transform entire planting areas. Before sowing seeds, simply rake the enriched soil into a smooth bed or mix it lightly into the topsoil to improve structure. For perennial gardens, burying slow rot layers beneath mulch allows nutrients to seep upward gradually, feeding plants consistently over the growing season. In survivalist contexts, this method is ideal for creating long-term fertility without relying on chemical inputs. Historical agricultural systems, from medieval European farms to early American homesteads, relied on similar principles, layering organic material to sustain microbial life and soil productivity for decades. The slow rot layer is more than a composting trick. It's a bridge between historical wisdom and modern gardening science. By creating a gradually decomposing layer of organic material, you awaken dormant microbes, improve soil structure, and feed plants consistently over time. Whether you're a beginner experimenting with compost for the first time or a seasoned gardener seeking resilient soil, this method is a practical, low-maintenance and historically grounded way to boost fertility. If you found this guide useful, don't forget to subscribe to Hydrohaven and share this video with fellow history buffs, gardeners and survivalists. Every subscription and share helps us explore more techniques that combine historical insight with practical real-world applications for your garden, homestead or survival plot.